This is the fashionable citizen. Have you ever pondered the paradox that is the Sixth Amendment of the United States Constitution? How can a right guaranteed to all citizens, such as the right to a speedy and public trial, have exemptions? And what could these exemptions possibly be? Well, it's a labyrinthine tale that intertwines the threads of law, justice, and the realities of the human condition. We begin with the first exemption, which pertains to the amendment's stipulation of a speedy trial. The term speedy is subjective and open to interpretation. Courts have ruled that delays are permissible if they are considered reasonable, taking into account factors such as the complexity of the case, the conduct of the accused, and the state's response time. The second exemption is related to the public trial clause. While the Sixth Amendment guarantees a public trial, there are instances when a trial can be closed to the public. These include cases involving national security, juvenile proceedings, and cases where public access could endanger the defendant's right to a fair trial. Moving on to the third exemption, the right to a fair trial. This is a complex issue, as what is fair can be highly subjective and context-dependent. Courts have ruled that a trial can be considered fair even if it involves hearsay evidence or if the defendant is denied the right to confront his or her accuser. The fourth exemption deals with the right to an impartial jury. While this is a cornerstone of the judicial system, there are situations where a jury can be waived. In some states, for instance, a defendant can choose to have a bench trial where the judge alone decides the verdict. The final exemption pertains to the right to have assistance of counsel for his defense. There are situations where a defendant can waive their right to counsel and choose to represent themselves despite the inherent risks. So, to distill the essence of our discussion, the Sixth Amendment, while it guarantees the right to a speedy and public trial, does have exemptions. These exemptions allow for the flexibility needed in a complex and ever-evolving legal landscape. They are related to the interpretation of what is speedy when a trial can be closed to the public, what constitutes a fair trial, when a jury can be waived, and when a defendant can choose to forego legal counsel. This exploration serves to highlight the intricacies and nuances of the legal system and the delicate balance between individual rights and the broader pursuit of justice. The Sixth Amendment, like all legal texts, is not a static entity, but an evolving framework shaped and reshaped by the hands of time and the ever-changing course of human events.